y'all, it's me Alex. Today I wanted to just film a little get ready with me using the Powerpuff Girls and Colourpop eyeshadow palette, just because I haven't had a whole lot of time to play with it recently, but I came up with this little look and I feel like it's super cute. So since this is a long ass video, I am just going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so my hair's messed up and I can't find my regularly scheduled brow brush, so we are off to an amazing start. I also feel like the lighting's weird, but I also can't quite tell because I'm staring directly into a ring light. I don't like often do my brows on camera because I do kind of the same thing every time, but I feel like I haven't done my brows on camera in a while, so I'm going to do them right here for y'all. Woo. You can probably guess what shade in this palette that I use to do my brows with. It's the shade Jungle. By the way, this palette is Jupiter Jungle by Drench Cosmetics. I have like two favorite neutral palettes at the moment that I use for like work makeup, and this one and the Nabla Dreamy 2 palette, the Mystic palette. These are like my go-to work makeup. This is a Saturday morning that I'm filming the afternoon. It's like 12:30. I slept in. I don't do that often. Usually this palette or that palette will be what I use when I do some work makeup. I want to film a work makeup tutorial for like kind of what I do when I just want to do something like neutralish for work. Granted, I can kind of wear whatever makeup I want to work, but if I want to just like have something pretty low-key and easy to do for work, I'll use one of those. I want to film it, but I'm also like rarely in the mood when I'm doing my makeup in the morning for work. Yeah, so anyway, I just use any sort of angled brush. I can't find my favorite one. I just fill in my brows like this. I really want to try that Lime Crime brow pencil just because that'll work really well with my hair color, because I use their hair color in the same shade as the brow stuff. At least that's what's been in my hair recently. I did this like right before Christmas and it still looks amazing. Like I've washed it every week. Like aside from a little bit of yellowness in the back, this has held up so well. So I'm going to do a ranking video very soon of all of the teal hair dyes that I've ever tried, and this one is certainly vying for the top spot there. I want to like give it a full 6 weeks or so though, just to see. Like I haven't given it the full test yet, but I feel like once I do, then I'll be able to tell. So probably 1 more month of just me having this hair color, and we'll see how it works. I don't explain my brows really well. I just like do a line under, brush it up, and then outline the rest. It's very Instabrow-ish, because I feel like when you're using an eyeshadow as your brow product, it is very hard to sort of get like the individual defined hairs like you would want if you did like a pencil. So that's why I really want to try that Lime Crime brow pencil, because I wonder if that would help me like do different brow shapes. Like, not that I'm planning on making my brows look any sort of natural, obviously, but I can't talk and do my left brow at the same time, really. I'm also just very heavy-handed when it comes to my brows, as you can tell. So I'm wearing this like funky Lazy Ove sweater that I thrifted. Well, bought off of Depop, so I'm counting it as thrifted because it was secondhand. And I wanted to use my Colourpop and Powerpuff Girls palette because I haven't used it since my super late takes video, because literally right after I filmed that, our heater went out and we had to get it fixed, and it took like 2 days, and all of the skin on my face like straight up dried up, and like I've had, especially around my eyes, so much like crusty dry patches that it's kind of only started to get healed, and that was like a while ago. So I've like slathered my face in moisturizer because I really just want to do some eyeshadow, and at least it stopped being painful on my face now. Like that's a win, I guess, in my book, is that it's at least stopped being painful. I still do have dry patches, but I think if I like work quickly and like go ahead and do my eyeshadow and my tinted moisturizer, I'm using my NYX HD eyeshadow primer as always. But I feel like if I work quickly, that'll give me enough time to apply the things to my face before my skin recognizes that it's winter again. I've used up like half of my face oil in the last week and a half because of this problem. It's so bad. Like, I had like a half of a container of the Trader Joe's rose facial oil because that's what I always use during the winter. And it's like almost gone now. And it took me like at least a year to get to that point, the halfway point originally. So that can tell you sort of how bad my skin has been, but at least it doesn't hurt me anymore. I think I want to do sort of like a blue to pink halo eye because I've just been loving the look of a halo eye on my eyes recently. I don't entirely know what it is, but I really, really, really want to play with the Rowdy Rough Boys shade. I feel like that would look good, and then maybe use Professor Utonium as like my little like lid shade. So I'm first going to, just out of curiosity, start off with Crime Fighting as like a little transition shade in like the center of my crease. Okay, that's pretty pigmented. I normally wouldn't use a shade like this, but since I've literally only played with this once, I really just want to like get in there and try all the things before my skin dries back up again and I shouldn't have things on my face anymore. Okay, that was fine. It's actually a pretty good like neutral transition shade for my skin tone, but I'm not like super enthused by it. I didn't bring it like all the way out because I don't understand how people use transition shades. I just want the blue to pop really well. So I'm gonna take Rowdy Rough Boys on the Elfin J Kiss J4 brush and begin that on the outer corner. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful shade. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner as well and just kind of slowly like work these two in to get the shape that I want. I've started using like smaller brushes when it comes to these sorts of looks, just so I can really work in the shape that I want and give myself a little bit more precision. And I know that this is kind of starting off as a shape that I did in the video where I was testing this palette in the first place, but I don't know, I'm just obsessed with this sort of eye look shape recently because I don't know, I feel like it is so simple yet very like unique in terms of an eyeshadow look shape. And you can kind of see how that's blending over. I think I shouldn't put the transition shade down, but it's okay. Going to connect the two on this eye. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna work this over top of the transition shade and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I can talk about my life a little bit. I've been working a lot. No surprise, because that's kind of been my life for the last 6 months. It's just a lot of work. Let me tell you, I am unlearning so much from my old toxic job. There are people who are like actually compassionate and all work together, and they're all at my job right now. And that is really wonderful because my last job did a fucking number on my mental health. You know, I've learned all of these different ways of how I don't want to be treated at work. Like, I just think back to, you know, when I was negotiating for full-time hours at my old job and my boss told me, oh, you can't just expect to make a living wage. Yeah, no, my hours are valued here and I still have a lot to sort of work through internally, and I think I might do a whole video on like how to unlearn a toxic job. I think I still have to, you know, get through this a little bit more. I think, especially in today's culture, as I think, you know, people are starting to wake up a little bit more to, maybe you shouldn't put up with abuse and bullshit, you know, from your job, then that like something like that could be really valuable, because there's a lot that I've had to kind of work through. Sometimes you have to get used to people treating you right. I'm starting my new hours, which is like more hours, starting next week, but like it's a sort of job that could very easily sort of become like super bleeds into your personal life. Oh, you do a thing here and there, because I do, like, I'll say very vaguely, I do social media and web communications for church. And that could very easily be a thing where you like go home and you answer an email here and there and it builds up to, you know, you working more hours than what you're scheduled for. But my boss is very like adamant of like, no, you know, when you go home, take that time off. You know, you can, I do have work from home kind of whenever I want. So that part's nice as well, especially during COVID. Oh yeah, I'm using Professor Utonium. I did use my NYX glitter glue to make that little halo, but I enjoy all of my coworkers and that part's nice. And I feel like everyone works really well together. And granted, I know that like sometimes even in the best of jobs, you're not going to be like besties with everyone, but like I think I discovered during quarantine and all of that I'm like a lot more of a social person than I thought I was, and I need a lot more human interaction than I thought, you know, because like I consider myself a pretty introverted person, but I also wonder if part of it is just like social anxiety and the fact that I've like have a very difficult time like reading people and their cues, at least towards me. And so it's not like that I'm an introvert, it's just that I have to work a little bit more, you know? That's something that I've been thinking about a lot with myself, is that what if I'm actually like an extrovert and people are just exhausting because I have trouble reading them? I don't know. Anyway, I know not everyone wants to be like besties with everyone at their jobs, but I do genuinely like having that. My office is probably like the furthest off from anyone else's office in the whole building, so I don't necessarily get to see people a lot, but I do try, at least, you know, during non-Omicron times, to like make my rounds a couple of times per day to like say hi to people and make small talk, because I don't necessarily like working fully by myself. And I don't know, it's nice that I can like talk to everyone. I'm just gonna take the blue along my lower lash line too. But yeah, that's kind of been my main thing. The cats are doing really well. The gliders are thriving. I'm going to go to the dollar store later today to get them some more foraging toys, because they're really trying to like DIY a whole bunch of stuff for them. And I'm hoping that the Easter things will be out. A really easy way to make foraging toys is to just get like some Easter eggs and put like treats in them and like have them dig in them for that. So that's kind of one of my goals for today. I feel like this is really cool looking. I feel like I'm definitely gonna put something in my inner corner. I think I'm gonna do some eyeliner with this just because I like this color a lot, but I do think with my eye color, in order to be flattering, I need a little bit more like darkness on it, because this is very bright. And I like that. That's what I wanted out of this, but I think in order to make it work specifically for me, that's what I need. So I don't know what shade I'm gonna put in my inner corner. I think I'm just gonna make this a 2 shadow look and go with a little bit of Professor Utonium on the inner corner, because like the other 2 shades that I was interested in using for this look are pressed glitters. I don't want to do that. I love this shape. I mean, I said that before. I'm obsessed with this sort of shape for my eyes. So I'm going to do some liner real quick. I probably won't talk, but I will introduce the eyeliner. I'm just going to do a black wing from the Melt Gel Liner in Onyx. And then I have plans for the rest of my face too. I know I just did the annoying thing where I kind of covered up a really nice eye look with a big wing, but it kind of got out of control. So I'm doing my best. I'm also struggling a little bit with this liner. It's definitely dried out a bit more. I think it's because the air in my house is really dry, but okay, this side is just not going to look as good as this side. That's gonna have to be good enough. It doesn't match. Oh well. I tried, and that's what matters. So let me whip out my lash curler. Let's see what else has been going on. I've been watching Arcane with Case, and I don't play League of Legends, but I like this show a lot. It's very fun. A controversial opinion, I love Jinx, so that's that. We also just finished Hawkeye. which I wasn't initially planning on watching, but when my parents were here for Thanksgiving, I watched a couple of episodes with my dad because he's the reason I love Marvel so much. I love it. It is so good. I didn't have a whole lot of feelings one way or another about Hawkeye before the show, but now I stand. But I love it. I love it. It was so good. Case also really liked it. We both were very impressed because like the relationship between Clint and Kate gives very like Last of Us vibes, you know. If you like The Last of Us, you might like that, because I don't play The Last of Us, but I've watched Case play it a lot and I like the storyline a lot. It's really good. And also Florence Pugh. She is like the most talented human being alive. So the show is fantastic and I'm very excited to see more. I have eyeshadow on my face. I'm hoping this tinted moisturizer, the NYX Bear With Me tinted moisturizer, I'm hoping that that'll maybe also help with the dryness on my face, because I do like it because it is very good for dry skin. Okay, so now I'm going to use the contour and bronzer shades from the Noon palette from Midas and Neon MUA, but I'm trying to remind myself that I do have other like blushes and highlights in my collection, because this last year, this is basically all I used for the majority of the year, and it works great. It's perfect for my skin tone. But like while I don't own a whole lot of bronzers and contours, I do actually have a variety of tones of blush and highlight, so I want that I do like, and I do want to get use out of. And I have a couple in mind, and I just forgot that this is the really pigmented bronzer, and I just like absolutely dug my brush into it. So I'm just gonna blend the crap out of it, and it still looks really bad. There we go. Would y'all still be up for like me doing a 2020 favorites sort of video? I mean, a 2021, fuck. But would y'all be like up for me doing that still? Because I didn't like buy a whole lot of makeup in 2021, but there was definitely like, I've developed a lot of staples in my collection over the last year. Although I'm kind of realizing that a lot of them just are straight up getting discontinued. Like literally two of my favorite things of 2021. I already know the Noon palette is out of stock, and I know that the NYX tinted moisturizer is discontinued too, so that might be a rather useless video. So I'm going to use this I Heart Revolution and the Aristocats highlighter here. It's in the shade Beloved, and it's so cute. It has a little paw print. And it's just like a pink highlight, which I think will go well with my eyeshadow. I know that Makeup Revolution highlighters tend to be a little bit on the chalky side, but I don't care that much. I still think it's cute, and I'm gonna add like a nice little glowy blush with it too, so that'll hopefully like even out the chalkiness. I'm going to go back to one of my favorite, I mean this is probably my favorite single blush of all time, and this is the Milani blush in Berry Amore. It is just absolute perfection, and I love the Milani Baked blushes because as someone who is deathly terrified of blushes, you can just absolutely dig into it. And look at that. It's just like this nice natural glow. Like it just gives you like this really nice radiant finish to your skin. I had a gloss somewhere that I wanted to wear with this. Will I find it? Who knows? Here it is. Yay. Look at me. This is the, I can't tell if this is, oh, this might be their purple gloss. I don't know. One of the Fluid Beauty glosses. No, this is a purple one. I wanted the blue one. Well, I didn't put out the blue one, so instead I'm going to use the Lime Crime Wet Cherry gloss in Extra Poppin'. This is just their clear gloss, but quite frankly, I feel like this is one of the best clear glosses to exist. Okay, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Okay, so this is my finished look. I'm really happy with this. This palette was so fun. It's playing with a Powerpuff Girls eyeshadow palette. Does that like count as healing my inner child? I don't know. Anyway, this is a super long video, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my outro and then film my intro, so that way y'all are not like stuck here much longer. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. And I will see y'all in my next one. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye!